everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're not. So for today's video, as you can see, I've done a strawberry look for like a fancy dress slash Halloween look. And I kind of went off the same kind of style as I did for my cupcake look, which I did last year. And I'll put that up in the eye if you haven't seen that. Basically where I'm just making my face a little cartoon strawberry. So I'm not trying to make it look realistic. I'm not trying to block out my eyebrows and my eyes and everything. I've just incorporated that into it. So it's like a little strawberry face. And then I added these little mini strawberries down here just for some extra detail. But yeah, I actually just kind of prefer doing more kind of fancy dress looks rather than like gore, scary, special effects Halloween looks. I just find this kind of thing more fun, and I think it's easier to follow along if you're a viewer and if you want to create the look. And so the way I did it is I just pulled up a picture of a cartoon strawberry on my phone and just used that as like a basis to kind of copy or use as kind of a template. And then in terms of products, I just kind of pulled from my collection and went with the flow, and it all worked out and came together in the end. I was having some issues with filming, like kind of halfway through while I was doing the look. It just started cutting out after like 20 seconds. I could only film for like 20 or 30 seconds and it would cut out and I have to start it again. And I think it worked fine, so I got like clips of each step. So that might actually make this tutorial more kind of to the point, and you can just see the steps and how it comes together. But I'm just mentioning that in case you kind of like to see the whole process and every little detail and just kind of have it all sped up and see it all come together that way. This one will probably be more broken up into the steps. And as always, I will have a link down below in the description box to the corresponding blog post, and there you'll find a list of the products I use as well as more pictures. And if you do enjoy the video, please do give it a thumbs up, that helps me out a lot. And if you would like to see more videos from me, you can subscribe to my channel if you want to. So with all of that said, let's jump into the tutorial. So I started off with this white pencil from Rimmel, and I used that just to outline my strawberry. I started with the body of the strawberry and just sketched that out really, and kind of went over and back until I was happy with the shape. And then I used a wipe to kind of clean up any of the excess lines. And then once I was happy with that, I moved on to the little leaves and the stalk. So next I started to colour in the body of the strawberry. So I started off with this Palm palette, and I used number 226, and I took that on a 110 Zoeva brush and coloured in basically the body of the strawberry. And this is a sheer red that I started off with, and you could totally skip this step and go straight in with the face paint that I use next, or a darker, more intense red. I'm just showing you what I did so that you're all caught up. And then before I put any product on my eyes, I used the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion just to help with creasing. So this is when I went in with a more pigmented red. This is the Snazaroo face paint in Bright Red, and just went over all of that shade. And the reason I didn't go in with this first is I wasn't sure of the kind of red, but it turned out to be perfect and exactly what I wanted in the end. And also, if you're not sure about your placement of a colour, it is better to go in with a sheerer colour first so that you can make any changes more easily. But if I was to do this again, I would just go straight in with face paint. And then I wasn't attempting to block out my brows or anything, but I just took a spoolie and that same face paint and ran it through the brows just to help them blend in a bit better and just to make them more red. Then I took a wipe and just used that to take away any red that had gotten into the leaves area, and also to clean up the edges as well. So then onto the leaves and the stalk, I used this green pencil from Rimmel just to colour them in completely. And then to set that in place and also to lighten it, I used the lightest shade from this rainbow pan from Inglot. And I took that on a MAC 275, this is just a mini one, and just went over all of that. And then once again I took a wipe and just cleaned up anywhere I went outside the lines. Then for my black outline, I used a gel liner. This one is from Maybelline, and I did mix it with a little bit of Inglot Jawline just to make it more fluid. And I used it on a number 2 Create brush, which is actually a paintbrush. And I chose this one because it's nice and small, but also nice and square and sharp. So I just started by outlining my red, and then moved on to outlining the leaves and the stalk. And once again I cleaned up with a wipe where necessary. So then to set my red in place, because it still had a fair shine on it, I used this red blush from La Femme, and I used that on the same brush I was using for the other cream red colours, and I just went all over with that, and it just mattified it that little bit. Then with the same liner and brush, I added the lines to the centre of the leaves. Then I took a cotton bud with a little bit of the simple eye makeup remover, and I'm using this one because it doesn't leave any oily residue. And I just started creating little gaps in my red for the little seeds. But after I had done a few, I realised that I was angling them wrong, so I had to redo just those ones I'd done. I was angling them inwards when I should have been angling them outwards, except for the ones at the top. So I did that all over the face, as you can see. And then this next step is again skippable, but I took a little brush that came from a L'Oreal palette and Golden Ochre from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. And I just went over all of those little spaces just to brighten them up a little bit. But then I did decide to go even brighter, so I went in with a cream gold. This is a Maybelline Colour Tattoo. And just a little angled synthetic brush, and went over those seeds again, and it made them pop that little bit more, and I liked the effect. So then I started to outline the little seeds using the same liner and brush. I probably could have switched to just a regular thinner liner brush here to make my life easier, but I didn't. So I just outlined kind of the bottom half of the seeds on the ones at the bottom of the face, and then just did this little hood over the top just to give it some dimension as if you were looking down at them. And then as I moved up the face, I moved that little hood to the sides. And then as I came to the seeds at the top, I just outlined them, and then I added some little swoops underneath some of them. And then once again with the same liner and brush, I just lined the top lash line of my eyes and winged it out. And then for lashes, I used ones that were nice and long, and I didn't mind that they were more blunt because they were going to be more cartoony. So these are the number 100s from Amore US. Next, for the little mini strawberries on my neck, I used the Sigma P88 brush and the same Snazaroo red face paint, and used that just to create like little hearts or upside down triangles on my neck to map them out. And then with the green pencil, I just went over the top of them and just created little kind of zigzaggy lines, and then a little stalk coming over the top. And I wasn't trying to be too precise with these little mini ones, I just wanted to add them as a little additional feature. They weren't supposed to be perfect, but then I did go in and outline them because otherwise they were just looking like tomatoes. So I did go in with that same liner and brush and just outlined them, and then added little dots in the middle for the little seeds. And then I just did that to all of them. So guys, this is the finished look. I'm really happy with how it came out. I think it looks really cute. And as I said at the beginning, that's kind of the fun little style that I like. And again, if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. But yeah, that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.